it's recorded, then I am.
Okay, I've got it
it's
recording.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Cassie, you might make me a co-host too, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, let me do that.
There's Patrick.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
This is a big call. We didn't understand Arizona time, so we got a little one-on-one action with one of the gentlemen from the Yuma Club.
Yuma,
Yeah.
that's where it was from.
I told him I wasn't. It wasn't 3:10, so that's a bad joke. But there you go. And so I start off the meeting with a bad joke. At least I got Myron laughing. I'm good.
Better to be early than late, though.
That's right. That's right. Well, I appreciate y'all having us. We're here for you, me and Katie. So whoever wants to lead, we'll be more than happy to answer any questions.
Don, do you want to MC this affair?
I was going to leave it to you, but I'll kick it off. Thank you, everybody. I think everyone knows why we're here. We've been using Club Runner as the district service for several years, and some of us, or a number of folks, have asked about DACdb as an alternative. There are districts that use DACdb as well in the West that we've talked to. Some of our clubs use it. And so it was suggested that we look at it as an alternative. There are obviously differences between the two. And since folks are mostly familiar with Club Runner, although we do have clubs using DACdb, we wanted to go through this process. And I know many of you are on our task force to look at it. So first of all, thank you for agreeing to do this and making the time. What we want to do this evening is bring Patrick and Katie in to really describe how DACdb works. I'm sure they're familiar with some of the differences and what those are. What such a transition process might be if we choose to go that way. And most important, to answer all of your questions. To let Patrick and Katie know what's happening. You have a lot of our task force on here, and they'll be meeting in the next several weeks to look at the options, to, I'm sure, come up with more questions and issues to discuss with you. But our goal is to have the decision made within 30 days so that if we do make the transition, we can move forward. So that's where we are. At this point, I will turn it over to you all, and then I'll ask Leo to facilitate questions and follow-up questions with all the group here, because you're more familiar with some of the details and specifics of the two platforms than I am. So with that, again, welcome everyone, and I'll ask Patrick and Katie to take it from here.
Thanks, DG John. I appreciate you a lot. I really do appreciate the opportunity to come here and talk to y'all. First, does anybody got any initial questions before we get started? Anybody got initial questions? Anything like that? This is great. We're going on. Let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Patrick Longan. I'm one of the owners of DACdb. I came to be one of the owners about a year and a half ago. Katie and I are both membership people in Rotary. That's our passion. We talked at the last couple of international conferences on membership. We were picked for Singapore, so that'll be 3 for us there. So everything that we've done coming into using DACdb to build our first impact club in the world, up to 79 members in 1 year, we have in the system. So one of the things that will set us apart from Club Runner is, well, several things. One's price. We're about 1/3 of the price. There is a free version to use if your district is on it. You don't have to buy anything to run your club. That's a wonderful attribute to have. We believe that if you don't need it, don't spend the money on it. If you can run your club like that, that's fantastic. But there are also several tools in there that will help you if you want to use them. It'll help you save money. But the differences are stark, and we'll get into those as we share with you what's in the system. So I do see something in the chat. Katie, you're monitoring that? Okay.
No, that's not, I don't see anything in the chat.
Okay, good. Fantastic. So let's get into it real quick. Katie, do you want to share your screen and go over a couple of things in the system, or do you want me to do that? I'll be more than happy to.
I don't mind hopping in. So while I'm doing that, I will just mention that DACdb is a web-based platform. So do I have the ability to share my screen? I sure do. Awesome. So DACdb is a web-based platform. You do not have to download anything onto your computer to be able to use it. Even our finance module that many clubs choose to use instead of QuickBooks and spreadsheets. So you do have the ability to get to DACdb.com anywhere that you can get to internet or cellular service. But in addition to the web-based platform, we also have our Ignite mobile app, which I think Patrick will probably dive into a little bit deeper in a little bit. But just know that there are multiple different ways to get to DACdb and the information that is housed there. So it's pretty simple and it's not rocket science, guys. This is the dashboard. This is what you're going to be seeing. Most of all, this is a test district here. It looks like your cell phone, a bunch of apps on your cell phone. That's just what it looks like here on DACdb as well. So of course you have your membership base. You have the ability to manage all of your membership information, their contact information, their profiles, upload their photos. You can have multiple different tabs here for your active and honorary members. You've got a Rotary Youth Exchange, some other members, Friends of Rotary. We encourage you to keep information for people that you want to keep in touch with for your club, potential members, proposed members, and even if you have a satellite club, you'll have a tab there for those satellite club members too. So if
Katie,
you
I do want to bring that up too while you're on the membership there and the contact. if you see the tab there that says Friend of Rotary, it's another, as Katie's going along with this, I'm going to go ahead and just point out some of the stark differences. If your club is under 50 members on Club Runner, you're allowed a maximum of 200 contacts. Well, we want to send everybody our events. We want to create people that are Friends of Rotary that we can send our bulletin to and keep them informed on the club. So when the time is right, they might be able to join the club. Anything over 200, you pay extra to Club Runner. It is absolutely, you give as many contacts as you want to in there. So if one of the clubs is on here and they have 1,000 contacts in their constant contact folder, you can bring them over here, drop them in a specialized tab, and P-mail them and do all the things that you do in constant contact. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, sure. Adding members.
So if we have 60 members, how many contacts would we have?
So you have unlimited contacts with us.
Good.
Unlimited contacts, and I encourage you to use that. I found a club just last week that paid constant contact a lot of money a year, and I'm like, why don't you put them in here? We showed them that and a couple other things that would help save them money as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of contacts, so we use it a lot.
Good.
Great. So adding members and removing them is very simple. You can do quick add or add new member. If you do quick add, you just simply add their basic information in here and change their member type. Maybe you've added them as a potential member and then you're just changing them to active. Very simple. If you need to terminate a member, you can just click on that member and then whenever you go in to edit them, you click on terminate member. No big deal. You just add the date of termination. You add the reason for, if there's a date of death, then you would add that. And then you add the reason for termination as well. Very simple. Not a lot of steps. So whenever you're looking at this dashboard, you're basically going to be able to configure this however it meets your needs. So what you see you may not care about having this area information here or the Rotary leadership information. So you can actually edit that by going up here and dragging those back down here if you don't want to see them. So anything up in yellow is what is showing right now in your configuration, and what is down here in blue is what is available but not showing. So if we reset that, then it changes that what we can see. So everybody has the ability to make this work better for them.
One of
Katie,
the
we
other
call,
things
we,
that has
we,
to
we
do with
call
it-
our areas regions, by the way.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, no
Yep.
worries.
One of the things that you can do here as well is your different security levels in your club. You're seeing everything there because Katie's a level 9. She's showing this. But your club, your regular club, will go from a level 1 to a level 4. Your everyday Rotarian is going to be a level 1. They're going to be able to sign in, look at the calendar, and change their information should they need to. They won't even see a lot of these tiles unless you get up into that different security levels. Thank you, Katie.
Sure.
Question.
So,
Yep.
yes.
You're talking when you're looking at inputting new members.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Does that automatically integrate with RI?
Absolutely.
And we were the first ones to do true two-way integration in 2013. It's actually real time, or as real as Rotary allows with the little blue spinning thing that you always see on their site.
Oh, yes.
But yes, ma'am, our RI compare is not only a member compare, but you can also run a club info compare to make sure that what Rotary has and what you have exactly match. But you also have club officer compare, which is wonderful because a lot of times, a lot of complaints that we hear, people coming over from there, coming over clubbers, they had no idea I was president. So they wouldn't be able to get in my Rotary and the other stuff that they need to do. So we have true two-way communication, and it's instantaneous. It's not overnight in batches.
Yeah, it is much easier in my opinion. So as far as I can't show that to you in this because it is a test district that does not connect to RI because it is not real data. So I can't open that up, but if we have time, then I'll go into our club and scramble that information so that we don't share any personal data and give you a glimpse into what that looks like. So as far as communicating with your members, our PMail system stands for personalized mail. So that's basically our email system. It's just like any other email system, guys. You know, it's not hard to send an email, but we do have the ability to create templates here. You can create a club template, a district template. We have some in the system already created. You can use whatever templates are there. You can also create your own groups. If you can email to, well, that's what I'm going to say. You can email to your entire club. You can choose to email to a specific group. Maybe you want to email to your board or a specific committee or a certain demographic. So you can actually break it down that way. You can change who you want them to reply to. So sometimes I'll send an email, but I want them to reply to my club's just general email inbox. So I'll change that so they're not replying to me. Now, when I send an email from PMail, it looks like I am sending an email from my email address directly to you, to your email address, and you are not seeing everybody else's contact information on there. So it's not blind copied and then catching it in spam. And we use a system that has a 99% delivery rate. So we are very serious about getting these emails where they belong. You can also track your emails. You can analyze who is reading your emails, how many people actually opened them. You can track them as far as specific emails. So I just sent out this email here today. 54 were delivered and in 28 actually read it. So we recognize that email is not always the best way to communicate.
Yeah,
But,
Katie, actually, if you take a look at that second one, guys, please read this. This one's important. Katie actually got 80% read capability on there, but I want to point you to the other thing. Katie, if you click into that, actually, this is really good. The second one, if you don't mind, because there was a fail on there and I want to be able to show it to them. Okay, so as you're taking a look at this, as you go across the top, or the top where the people's names are, it's going to show you anybody that's opted out. It's going to show you if they read it, how many were undeliverable, if anybody got in the spam, anybody that unsubscribed. But what I do want to point you thing to fail. So any fail. So if Katie goes down, I think there actually is a fail there. So you can click onto it, and then you can click onto it again. It will say what is going on with that fail, why that person's email failed, and you can get that corrected. So this is really, really good information. How many people here have ever sent an email and they say, oh, I never received it? This is what you get right here. You can say, oh, that one that you read on January 5th at 10:26 a.m. It's right there. Katie, if you click out of that thing right there and then go back up to the top. Also, one of the reasons why people don't read our emails anymore is because we keep sending them. We don't have a process to be able to tell who's read them, who's reacted to them. So what can happen is everybody just gets the same email again. So up at the top here, we've put some one-click buttons that, like right here, if Katie wanted to make sure that all the people who didn't read the email gets it, she just clicks resend to unread, automatically opens the Pmail with only the people's names and email addresses in there that have not read your email. So it's nice and simple and very, very easy to use. So on that one, I would put, please read, this one's important. I mean, really important, and then send it on. So it'll be good.
Email. Yep. So you have a lot of cool features in the Pmail system. You can compose a draft. You can save your drafts. I know that's something that I've heard from quite a few ClubRunner users. They get frustrated if they go out and try to attach a document, then they lose their draft. And I can't say what is causing that, but we haven't had that problem. So I use Pmail quite a bit. Easy stories, they're just little announcements, just blurbs, reminders, things like that. You can push out to Facebook, all of your other social medias. You can push them out to your website and your dashboard. Club files, we don't have a limit on how many documents you can upload into the file storage area. You have the ability to do a secure tab where you have to be logged into the system, or public. Doesn't mean that everybody in the public can get to it. It just means that if you choose to push it out to your website or send it externally, you can via a link as well. But secure, you want your members to be logged in for that type of information.
What
Calendar.
formats are available, Katie?
I'm sorry, what?
What file formats? I think I saw Word and Excel and PDFs and.
So I actually, I'm not aware of
Any
formats that
limitations?
we
I don't know of
upload.
any limitations. Now, there probably could be on something, but I don't know of any.
But the
I know
normal
they're
ones, the normal
PowerPoint.
ones are available.
Yes, yes, sir.
PowerPoints.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, I've uploaded videos into the file storage area,
Yeah.
PowerPoint presentation, Excel files, things like that.
We can't store videos on ClubRunner.
Oh, really?
We have to store them on YouTube.
That's another thing here too, guys. Unlimited file storage we have right now. So once you get over a certain amount with ClubRunner, you have to pay extra per month, which is annualized, of course. Another one of the things where Katie was showing you on Pmail, you have unlimited Pmails. I know once you get to a certain, they have a cap, and then you can pay for extra emails over on ClubRunner. That's just another 2 points there: unlimited storage, unlimited Pmails.
Okay, so this is a major difference between DACdb and ClubRunner, our calendar. So this is not a calendar, guys. It is a calendar, but it's not. It is an event creation, management, registration, and payment if you want it to be system all wrapped into one. This is huge. So we do not charge you for registrations. You can create events into the system. What maybe it's just simple RSVP. I want to know if you're going to show up or not. Yes or no. Or it could be a multi-day seminar where you're creating 75 conditional questions that you need registrants to answer with multiple notifications and follow-ups. It can be anything you need it to be. We have people who do their golf tournaments in here. Our club does a Christmas parade. We do all of the registrations and payments through DACdb registrations.
So that's another thing that you're going to save. That's another point from Club Runner. This is free for you using the system. Totally free. Southwest Pets uses us. Northwest, 90% of the pets across North America uses our registration system for there. But again, just a stark contrast right there. It's free in our system. You don't have to buy the My Event Runner over there for $129 for the year.
Mm-hmm. So you can, decide how you want to see it. Look at it as the calendar, look at it as a list. I always have mine set to see as a list. You can see the district or club events. So I also have mine set to see all of the DACdb trainings in case I want to participate in those. But you also have in any of your events, you have a back room where you can view all of the registrants, if they paid, how they paid, what their information is, how many tickets they purchased, how many were for children versus adults. You can do any types of questions you want. For our parade, we actually had it set to automatically change the price after a certain date. So whenever they said, well, I'm afloat, okay, well, you missed the early registration deadline, so now it's $35 instead of $25. So it just automatically changed it because it was already set to do so. And then they got an email as soon as they registered. They got another email a couple days later, an email the day before the event, and I was able to go into the back room and then send and click P-mail, and it allowed me to email everybody that had registered for that event in one email, but it looked like I was directly emailing them from my email address, which was phenomenal because they don't see anybody else's contact information. So that was very easy for us to manage that event. Easy bulletins, you can create your club bulletins and newsletters here. CRM, this is something that does not exist for Club Runner. This is unique to DACdb. So we actually have a client relationship management system here to track the progress of your potential members. So we have to look at our clubs as businesses sometimes, guys. We have to follow up with these folks that we're trying to recruit. We have to make sure that if we've invited someone to something that we're following up with them. So maybe Todd used to work with this person and you want to say, hey, will you invite this person to our next social or to our next fundraiser? And you can actually assign a task for that member to reach out to that potential member. You can log a phone call if you had a conversation with them, or you can send an email directly to that email, and it will really actually go to them. So it will be recorded in the system, so you can follow along that communication. It's important to follow up, period.
Katie, do you still take inputs from RI's leads, potential
So
membership leads?
Yes, you can integrate your RI leads directly to your CRM.
Yeah,
The
Rotary
CRM
International gets information from people who send it to RI saying, "Hey, I'm interested in Rotary. What's the nearest club?" That sort of thing. They produce a list every month that they send out to the districts and even to regions sometimes. But we can't use that in Club Runner. So
yeah, you can import your RI leads here.
no, you can in DACdb.
One of the things too, guys, remember, we got to make it easier on everybody, every club to recruit, but you got to be able to manage them too. That's the reason why that CRM is in there. That's priceless. Anybody who's ever had a business and wants a customer retention module, they're paying for even a halfway decent one $100 a month. The good dealerships I used to own, I was paying $300-400 a month at each dealership for a CRM. This is something that you're going to be able to work your leads, people that are interested in joining your club.
Where do you want to go next, Patrick? There are a lot of things in here we could touch on.
We
but...
do have a couple of chat questions already.
Oh, let's answer those.
Yep, I answered a couple of them, but I will. I'll start answering them for everybody. From Charles Mathewson said, "Will member data have to be manually input, or can it be all imported from Club Runner?" Well, I'm going to explain that. First of all, the first thing that I did when I came in while we were developing the app was to start an implementation team. Katie's son, actually, and I want to tell you this. Here's another stark difference. Right at 90% of all of our employees, which is 20 plus, are Rotarians. Okay, so we understand what you guys are going through. We've done the duck races and the flag programs and all those other things. It's not like it'll feel more like a nice fit instead of trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. But what I do
don't
is
have
take a little
Lobster
bit.
Fest though in North Carolina. I will say
What'd
that.
you say?
We don't have Lobster Fest.
We don't have a lobster fest,
Lobster Fest.
but we'll figure it out. I might even go
Crawfish
taste test
boils.
there. But one of the things too, besides putting that implementation team together, that's going to do about 80% of the work for you. I think Leo's done a full district before implementation. That was before we had our team. And these guys do about 80% of the work for you. So everybody out there is going, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" Da, da, da. They sit down with you individually and help you go ahead and bring over the stuff. So I take an extra step. Normally, we would just pull the information down from RI. But we don't do that. We'll pull the information down from RI, and then we pull it over from Club Runner as well. And then we do an RI compare. And I promise you, you'll be shocked at what Rotary International says you have versus what your club says you have, or what Club Runner says you have. You'll be shocked.
But each club really has very little to do with that. I mean, it really is. Most of that is done automatically.
Yeah.
The club officers won't have to do a whole lot.
No. This will be brought over. And if you have a website, these guys help you get your pictures off of the website, transfer it over for you. It's a very easy process. Last year alone, in the last calendar year, we've brought over 11 Club Runner districts, 11, and none have gone the other way. There's a reason for that. We look to help in any way we can. You got to make your job easier, guys. And then we've got another one. Let's see.
Documents can be stored. Yeah, documents also will be moved.
Yep, documents we can help you move on there. Todd Brown said, our Club Runner years ago, due to cost, being a small club, we found we could do everything we needed through a normal email server. This appears to be much better than Club Runner. We use it, cancel. Thank you, appreciate it. Remember, there's a free version that you can do any of that stuff. RI integration. If the district has grants, you can do all that stuff. We want you to not spend money if you don't have to. Okay. Another question there.
Plus, then you'll also be more integrated with the district in terms of sharing of information. So,
yeah. Can we transfer district grant files from Club Runner grant module to DACdb? Club Runner allows, just like us, if somebody wants to move, you can download their information and we can upload it into the files for you with no problem at all. Our district, by the way, just showing you this district grant module. Club Runner is $1,195. It's $699 over at DACdb. So just again, another pricing thing there that helps. How are you to handle the district conference paying and what you're planning to take? Dick, I got that question for you from Region 5. Your district conference it's going to be lit this year if you're on DACdb. We specialize.
It is so much easier. I've set up district conferences now in 2 districts, three times, twice in Club Runner and once in DACdb. Once in Club Runner, once in DACdb in the same district back in Georgia, and then here in Club Runner. And DACdb is so much better in terms of setting up the conference. The registration is more straightforward. You don't have to have packages and what's the other thing they call Charlotte?
Yeah, it's a good program.
Very
for that. Your
complicated.
district
Yeah,
conference.
this is
Yes.
easy.
It is
And
very
also-
hard.
Yeah, and also too, it's very easy for a guest to do it for any of your
Yeah.
events. So
Yeah.
if you're Rotarian, you can sign in if you want to, but if you want to, all the other people that want to register as a guest, they just click on registration, follow the questions, it totals it up for them. At the end, they click pay, and it's done. Nice and simple. So that was
And
one
you
of
can-
them. Then we've got.
You allow logic in your questions too. You can have questions that are dependent on the answers to previous questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those
Which is a
conditional
lot-
questions are
Very
cool.
nice. So you can tailor the questions to who you're asking them of
Yeah.
and what they've already answered. So you don't have to ask people what they want for dinner on Saturday after they've already said they're not coming on Saturday.
Yeah. Yes, Myron, you have a question, sir. I see your hand raised.
Yes, when you're doing the bulletin, do you have a format that's what you see is what you get? And how do you allow for all the different platforms to get them?
It's a good question. I'm gonna pass that one to Katie, who's like bulletin and easy story meister. I mean, she can get it going on. It's awesome. But I
So
will
you,
tell you something, just to show you, we have a sister company called iMembers, which does non-Rotary branded stuff. And I just got over something that I thought was just absolutely really neat. So when they, just to show what you can do with your PMail, I'm going to show you that and then let Katie get into this. Let's see, 1 second. I thought this was neat because I'm on the rolls there. Excuse me. This was something neat that they just sent out to their customer. I'm going to share my screen. Boom, share. And this is a, can you, Katie, do you see my email up there?
Nope.
Nope.
We see a map.
Oh, okay. I moved it over because I thought it was on the other one. Sorry. Now can you guys see that?
Nope, we've got a
there.
birthday party donation. Yeah.
Yep. So this is a PMail. This is how it came out. They did this in Easy Stories. Isn't this neat? They just gave $1,000 to the birthday party fund down in Florida, and this is what comes out. This is what your PMails look like. You can make any kind of templates that you want to. She could have probably made her own personal template, for signature line. So these are really, really neat. So when you can also, I showed you that because we want Katie to show you like a bulletin, because you can email those bulletins and you'll be able to see what these things come across looking like. Go ahead, Katie.
So you can actually create your own template. So you have different templates that you can choose. I'm going to have to go and it's going to take me a minute to get to our club to show you a template, but you can create your own templates. You can use some of the templates that you already have. It's basically drag and drop. So you can choose how you want it to look. Here's a just test bulletin. So this is just a very, very simple bulletin that we did as a test, a sample. Let me find another one.
What I like about them, Myron, is besides being able to do like a bulletin and stuff like that, you can do it all from from your dashboard right there. So you can do your bulletin, click PMail, and send it out to all your friends of Rotary. You can click PMail, send it out to all your members. You can also click Facebook, a little Facebook logo or your thing. Go ahead and directly upload that to your Facebook page. So you only have it every once in a while.
So you can see how different that these, this bulletin versus the other one looked. So, I mean, you have the ability to tailor it to your club and what you want it, your look and feel. So our club is really big on doing things that follow the seasons. If you look at our website right now, it has clovers all over it for St. Patrick's Day. So we're just really big on being very colorful. So yeah, you have the ability to tweak it, and it's basically you choose what you want on in here. You want easy stories? Okay, they'll pull directly from DACdb. I'm not typing anything in here. These are pulling directly from the system in the easy stories that I've created.
What I'm
all
talking
of-
about is when I make a bulletin. And
It never comes out like you designed, Myron.
then I have to go to,
Yeah.
what it looks like. And then especially if I'm trying to do a layout with photos and stuff, there's no telling where they're gonna end up.
Really?
It's
Yeah,
I've used both, Myron, and I can tell you there's always going to be some differentiation depending on how the member receives it, their email platform, and what they're using to display
Yes.
it. So there's always going to be a little bit. I can tell you DACdb's newsletter is closer to what comes out for everybody is closer to what you put
Yeah.
in than it is with Club Runner.
yeah,
I do the same. I do my club's bulletin every week, and it is a pain. I have to look at it. I have to send me a test email 2 or 3 times before I get it right.
yeah.
I didn't used to have to do
Once
that.
you create, if I can jump in, once you create your template, it's
It's what it
very
looks
easy.
like.
This-
It's
this
pretty
is-
much
this
what
is-
it looks like.
this is last week's, if you guys can see my screen share. This is
Yeah.
last week's for Valle Verde.
Yeah.
And all I
think
He's
you
already
can
on
practice.
DACdb.
yeah. I dropped 2 stories into it and sent it through Pmail. Done deed.
So what do you do if you have 2 pictures on one line, left, right? You want to change the sizes or so on?
You can do
it.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can do that in Club Runner. It's just not as easy.
Well, you do it and then you send it, what does it look
Yeah,
like? Then you
yeah,
gotta
it's
go
not-
back and add or subtract. And it's-
Sometimes it is. It's a
a
pain,
lot.
but you don't have as much of that tinkering in DACdb. But I can't guarantee that everything's going to be exactly, but it'll be
Yeah.
a much
Well,
closer fit.
Oh, I
And-
Hey,
understand that.
Yeah, Katie, Patrick, we've got some other questions on chat too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you, Steve, for showing that, buddy. I appreciate that.
Was I
Uh,
not sharing my screen when I showed those examples?
Yeah, you did.
You were.
Okay.
Let's see, we got Linda asked about attendance. Attendance is with your engagement module on there. You can do attendance, you can track makeups, you can do any of that stuff that you want. We've got some really cool things that are coming up with attendance as well. The engagement module you really like if you like attendance. But excuse me. One of the things that you'll be able to do is when I show you the app, guys, it's going to blow your mind, and what you're going to be able to do with your digits card. So, but Katie's showing it on the screen, nice and simple.
Add a guest if you need to. Yeah, very simple. And then also managing projects. So actually adding in service projects. So I actually added this one today, project graduation. So people can actually RSVP for participate in this. And once they actually work those hours, we can either add their hours in for them by just dropping in how many hours they've worked, or they can do it themselves on the mobile app.
Okay, stay right there, Katie, real quick. Write down where it says barcode entry options. That's another stark difference. If your club uses barcode entry, you pay $8 a month to Club Runner to use, so it's free in your system to go ahead and use. Okay, another question here on the old chat. Boom, boom. Let's see. Can you speak to how the payment options are handled, especially if you have several events requiring payments? I'm particularly interested in the impact on treasure and accounting for revenue. I love all our zipper case toting friends, all our treasurers out there. I love them. So my job is to make it easier for them. We do have a finance module that if you're familiar with QuickBooks, you will love. It's a full double entry system that's built inside DACdb. So when your treasurer sends the invoices out with one click to Pmail, they can, if they want to, if you want it set up, they can just click and pay, and it will make the journal entry for them inside the system. So we just got to get past the little zipper bag and just get them to show it to them, because I promise you, your treasurer is going to go, wait a second, this does all this stuff for me because it's all in the same system. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. So we just got to show them that. But the payments, just so you know, we don't we don't force you to use one. And I'm glad you brought that up. We don't force you to use one. We have 6 or 7 different payment gateways that you guys get to choose from. That's another stark contrast. Club Runner, if you want to accept the online payments, you have to use their you have to have their payments module, which you have to pay to get. But then you have to use Paya. I don't know if anybody here is using it, but that's the part that doesn't show up on your Club Runner bill. They take it out of your account. Paya will charge you $10 a month and $75 a year in PCI compliance. You don't have any of that over here. So that saves you $195 being able to take payments. And
There was a
we don't
question
store
about
any of that
membership
information.
reports too, Patrick.
Excuse me?
There was a question about membership reports, retention,
Yep,
and
I'm going
things
to show
like
them
that.
that.
Okay.
I was just going to finish up by saying none of that financial information is ever stored in the system. Somebody wants to click and pay, it opens up a payment gateway, and it just sends a token back down to us, letting that person know that they've that person's paid. Okay. Question about membership reports. Very, very simple. Katie, if you go over to
Hang on one second. I want to jump in there, just
Sure.
simplify that. So your question was specifically regarding how events and payments are tallied or recorded within the finance system. So you can actually tie any of your events, your dues, invoices, any electronic payments you want to the DACdb finance system. So if you have an event, if you're selling gala tickets or tickets to a spaghetti dinner, whatever it is, when someone purchases the ticket, it can be tied to automatically record in that GL and that sub account. Okay, so you do have that ability. All right, you wanted to see what next?
if you don't mind, go to the membership reporting.
Thank you.
All kinds of reporting.
You can also maybe answer the question about importing QuickBooks data. Somebody answer.
It all depends on what kind of QuickBooks you have. The
Yes.
QuickBooks, a lot of the
Online,
QuickBooks
desktop.
online,
Yeah.
you really can't. But we have our onboarders that do our finance. They're legit, and you have a 2-hour meeting with them and bring your GL and bring all your stuff, and they have you running by the time you leave there. It's pretty cool.
If you can get it out of QuickBooks, we will do our best to help you upload it. QuickBooks is just not user friendly when it comes to pulling data.
Well, they don't want you to leave.
Yeah. All right. So what reporting did you want to take a look at?
Membership
reporting,
reporting,
any kind of
retention,
reporting.
and things like that.
Oh, map system?
Yeah.
No, just let's go to reports.
Yeah, just the basics for now.
Reporting in progress. Patrick, did you want to run through this?
Yeah, I'm getting on the phone to show the app. So if you could just go through that real quick, just any kind of membership reports.
Yeah, demographics, new memberships, retention rate, things like that.
Yep.
Length of term or length of membership, that sort of thing.
So most of what you're talking about is more available in the Membership Success Center, which everybody has access to. And that's where I would go for that type of information. So all of you would have access to the Membership Success Center map as well. So this is where you're going to find more data regarding attrition and attraction, your 5-year numbers, being able to see where you are, your dashboard. You can put in your goals here. You can actually download a membership goal worksheet to be able to work through where you want to be, where you're trying to be. Where's that going?
Katie, if you go back to DACdb, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Go down to reports if you don't mind. Guys, you have a bunch of different membership reports in here that'll give you your own demographics. It'll give you your average age, the gender breakdown, age breakdown, and barriers, anything that you really want to do. If you go back down, Katie, club statistics up at the top. Right there. Yep. No, down one. There you go. Let's go ahead and average age by club if you want to, or average age statistics. These will pull them up. You just got to pick the club and then just click view. You can export any of this stuff, and it'll go ahead and pop it up. They've got 56 people in there. The average age is 56 out of all the members that are in there. You can go down gender. It'll give you the breakdown of how many 20s. Katie, if you go back out of that one, I'll show one more report that I always use. Excuse me. Reports down at the bottom under membership. Keep going. If you go to the excuse me. It's the club member classifications. You can go to that. Go back up for me real quick. Sorry, Katie. I'm working with one contact, guys. I apologize. It's been pretty bad. Go to new members if you don't mind. You can look at any kind of new members with their contact information so you can make sure that you get there. You can pull a birthday report. You can do any of that other thing. I like the really breakdown of the average age bracket in the age brackets. Then you'll know exactly where your club is. Excuse me. The club anniversary stuff, you can pick however you want to do, however you want to take a look at it. But the reports in there, you can basically pull anything that you want. We also have a dynamic extract, which is the 12.5 report that will do a dynamic dump for you. And then you can just filter out the exact information that you need as well. Okay. Katie, do you mind if you can answer that other question? I'm on the phone. Let's see. I'm going to answer a couple questions and I got to show you the app. That's the start of the show, okay? Dick, it's not complicated.
Before you go to that, one of the questions was about surveys, and I know you have a survey system, and also the limit on video storage. You said unlimited storage. Is there any limit on any type of? Can we do?
They don't. Yeah, they don't do. We don't do video because it would eat it up. But pictures galore. Any pictures that you have, documents, anything. It's unlimited.
We can't store videos at all.
No, not yet. I mean, not with free storage, unlimited storage like that. I can't.
I knew that. Yeah, I know that.
Are you sure? I swear I've uploaded videos.
Well, there's a certain point that you can get away with it, and then it'll show overload on that system. So.
Okay, so a couple of these questions. Payment options. Okay, I think we talked about that. The cost, all of our cost is by club size and is available online. It also depends on how the district decides to move forward and what options they want to include. Import quick data, we already talked about that.
I sent out a cost comparison too, and also a sizing, based on club size. I think that went out to all the members, did it not, Don? Tasha?
It did.
Yes.
Yes, it went out to all the members.
Tasha sent it out on the 29th of February.
Okay, good. And if you don't have that, you can either ask Cash or me for it. Or I don't think we posted on the website, but we could post on the district website. And website was another question that somebody asked about DACdb's website. It's better. It's better now. It used to be that I like Club Runner's website better than DACdb's. Now they're comparable.
So let me.
I've got to show this before my phone dies, Katie. I apologize, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
How many people here would say that you cannot wait to get home and get on a member management platform? So you're like, you're green. Okay, a couple. Doug, I like you. There you go. You're being honest. I love it.
I think it's because it's
the typical part of it, guys. The typical part of it is it doesn't matter if it's DACdb, Club Runner, Club Express. I don't care. Your regular rank and file Rotarians are not getting on the system. And it puts more and more stress on the leadership and the people that do this on a daily basis. We had to figure anywhere between 16 and 22% usage. So to sum that up, I could probably bring a Greyhound bus with 5 trainers, park it in front of your club for 7 days, offer free food, and the same 5 people will come out for training. That's just the way that it is. So I'm tired of beating myself up against the wall. I got Doug laughing now. I am on a roll. I love it. So what I did for the last 30 months is figured out a way to get the other 80% on the system to do the things that we're asking them to do, but do it simply and just get them on. Okay. So what are the first 2 things? Let me guess why your people don't get on when you ask them. When you say, hey, can you get on and help me out? They go, I don't remember my password. Raise your hand if you've heard that one. Yeah. And then it's too hard, right? Well, I'm going to show you this real quick. It's called Ignite. Everything is tied in to DACdb, and anything flows back and forward into DACdb, okay? So this is, pardon me. So this is the Ignite app. Excuse me. I was taking a service selfie. When I first sign on, all we got to do is get them signed on one time, guys, because their phone will take care of the rest. iPhone, face, the other one, thumbprint. We get them signed in one time. They never have to worry about it again. This is what I want them to use. Nice and simple. I'm going to start down in the lower left-hand part of this real quick under the pay button. You can notice that it's all blue, okay? The reason for that is the only thing that you have to have, only premium module that you have to operate this entire system is in that one little block. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but if you're on the DACdb finance system or have any of the finance system at all, your people can go ahead and click pay. And if they have an invoice waiting for them, I apologize. This is really weird. I'm getting a little action here. My bad. My internet's going in and out. Katie, hold on one second. Okay, I'm going to go back to the pay here real quick, but foundation is the next button. How many people here get the question all the time? Where's my Paul Harris? Blah, 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 blah. Where am I at? Because they don't know their password to my Rotary either. So they can never go up and take a look at that. It's right here on their phone. It's connected directly to the foundation. I'm very sorry that it looks a little off. I'm on a default 5, so it's, I'm showing it a little differently, but this will tell you how far you are away from your next Paul Harris, how many points are available for transfer, what you've qualified for, what you haven't. Your Paul Harris pin actually changes with you along your journey. And if you notice the button down at the bottom, you can donate to the TRF right then and there. Nice and simple. It takes you right to the page where you can pick the fund that you want to donate to. Just makes it easy. Think about this. You're sitting there as your president and you say, hey, it's Foundation Friday. Everybody take out the app, click on there. Can you give $3, $5, $7 to the foundation today? Bam, I promise you it will turn a good year into a great year for the foundation if you do it this way. Next up, there's a bunch of people on here I know that are probably being like me, like I'm in Rotary so long that we used to print out our directories. You remember that? Don't raise your hand. Don't. It'll tell your age. Don't. So what we have right here is your Find Club member. You can go ahead and click on that. Oh, I know exactly where I'm at. I'm in a switch. That's what I was doing. Sorry, that's a little thing there. So if I click the pay button and you have the invoice, I'm just going to show you. You can click pay and pay. You can also view your history of what you've paid to the club. Nice and simple. So they don't keep going to the treasurer going, hey, it's tax time. I need my information. Open up your app. It's right there. Next up is that Find Club member. So I'm going to go ahead and let's find Katie because she is so awesome. She's on this call. It's the reason why I'm saying it a lot. But there's Katie's digits card. Every member of your club is automatically put in there. So I can just look up Katie by her first, start typing in her first name or start typing her last name. I can pick, I can click call me and pick the phone number that I want to click. Boom. And it calls her. Text me and email me. But you can, as an option, free of charge, go ahead and put your social media down there. Katie's a social butterfly. So she's like, I don't care how you contact me, just as long as you contact me. and so you can click on her WhatsApp or LinkedIn, whatever you choose, however you choose to be connected from your club, that's how you can do it. Okay.
No X?
Remember that
She's
term,
not on X?
digits card. Yeah, just remember digits card, okay? Because that's going to come up in a second. All right, now we're coming to the number one thing that I was picked on the most. It's called service selfies. Again, I told you I'm a membership guy. Membership is PI, PI is membership. And too long we've been putting ourselves in these little four corners. We're known for the golf tournament and the bike race and the backpacks and the Christmas party. But what we really don't showcase is what all our Rotarians do outside in the community. Quick show of hands. How many people here do service, any type of service outside of Rotary, a non-Rotary project? Pretty much everybody. I mean, that's what happens. So what we do is we wanted to be able to give them an opportunity to wear their shirt, their hat, their pin, their cape, whatever they've got. Click on service selfie. Take up the 3 photos. You can select up to 3 photos. So I'm going to do one of these bad boys right here. Hey, everybody. Smile. Horrible picture of me, but I'm going to click OK. And it's going to go ahead and load this quick form. And I'm going to just put zoom in. I'm going to tag Katie because she's on the call here with us. Tag Katie. And then I'm going to click send. And it automatically opens up my email client, the phone's email client, and sends it directly to my PI chair and the district PI chair. You don't have to have the district. You can choose who you want it to send to. They will see the information of what they've done on their selfie and the picture. They can make sure that it's good and upload it to their social media. We're taking clubs that we're posting once every 2-3 weeks to posting 14 and 15 times a week because we can get the content. All we got to do is put it in the hands of our members. And people that you're thinking won't do this a lot are the ones that are doing it the most. Now they're doing it with 2 hands because they don't know. They're doing their service selfies and sending the stuff in. And I promise you guys, if you do that 2-3 months down the road, you're going to have people calling your club going, I had no idea you guys did stuff with Habitat. I had no idea you guys did stuff with this. Absolutely. Our Rotarians serve 156 or 170 nonprofits in our community. That's when people start to step up and notice when you really, really touch the entire community and you already do, you're just showing it to them. So service selfies is one of my favorite things to do. It has absolutely helped PI. Your calendar, anything that you want to put in, you can go ahead and choose. Like here's Asheville Biltmore's weekly club meeting. I can go in and click onto that, read about it, and RSVP straight from here. I can also add it to my calendar because if it's not on mine and Katie's calendar with the right time, Leo, Arizona time,
right
never heard of that
zone.
before, but I'm there. I can go ahead and click onto it and it adds it to my calendar. Nice and simple. If it's an event, you can click onto it and click register. Now, I'll show you in a minute how you put them in, and it's send a push notification to your members and say a new event's happened. Click here to review it. They click here to review it, read it, and say yes or no. Are they coming? Because that's really what we want to know, right? How many people love going, I put a sign-up sheet in the middle of the table, right? How many times you said that in your careers? Love it all the time.
Patrick, this runs on both Android and Apple, right?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. This is a native app built there. We had to get approval through the app stores. Messaging, not everything has to be an email, guys. Right now, you can go one-to-one. So Katie likes to send pictures of her cats. I don't know. She'll send pictures of her cats stealing fish. Here, it's crazy. There it is, stealing fish out of the boat. But you can go one-to-one. If you're one of the club leadership, you can go ahead and click new chat down here and click broadcast right now and say, don't forget your canned goods. Meeting starts in an hour. Click continue, select everybody, submit, and everybody gets a push notification. Not everybody's checking their emails all the time, but they check their phone all the time. Okay. So messaging is really neat. Group chat is on its way for that. So you can create your own groups. It's pretty neat. Next is your service hours. Anybody on here track their service hours and submit them to Rotary? because it's not easy to do. This is how easy it is to do over here. I picked the service project that's been put in.
We are for our April service, days of service.
Perfect. You just click whatever the service project is. I'll choose all service hours. I'll go in and put in there Humane Society, 2 hours, and I click done. And in where Katie was showing you, where you take attendance in the engagement module, it logs your people's service hours in there individually and collectively. Right down in there. That was easy. I told you I was a membership guy, so prospective members in the top left is one of my most important. Click onto there. All I need is that person's first name, last name. If I can spell my own name, guys, it would be great. That would be great. So their email and their phone number. And I'm usually talking with somebody. It's actually me. Katie can talk to mannequins about Rotary or about membership. So I just get their information. And as soon as I click done there, a thing will pop up and say, how do you want to send it? By text or email. As soon as I choose that, it makes a record as a potential member in your CRM in the system. A potential member because they've gotten the application to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and click text. You'll see that it says that it sent it. And then there's the text that I got because I sent it to myself. I click onto it and I tell the person that would be for me. Go ahead and click on the application, fill it out, click submit down at the bottom. And as soon as they do that, that right there moves them from potential to proposed so you can take action on the application. This is a different app than what you've got with Club Runner. This gets people, this is not just for information. This gets people to do the things that you need them to do. Up at the top picture up there, you can, if I click it, it'll flip over. And I'm going to click launch digits. Remember when I showed you Katie's digits card? This is your own personal digits card. So when you're out at a district conference or pets or anything like this, anybody that's got the app, you can go ahead and scan it and build up your Rotary Rolodex right here. So you can click onto there. And these are all the people that are outside of your club. You can just go ahead and hey, give me your digits. Yep.
Patrick, do we still need DACdb Mobile in addition to?
You can use that for now because there are several things that are on there, but they're all coming over, and I'm going to show you that in a second.
Okay. So your plan is to replace DACdb Mobile with Ignite, or if you have Ignite, you don't need DACdb Mobile.
Yeah, because I'm going to show you right now what I've done for the club officers. Besides the fact that these folks can go ahead and change their own phone number, their own name and everything, and it'll go in there. They can change their picture if they need to, so they don't have to keep running up to the secretary and say, hey, I changed my name or changed my phone number. You can do customization, dark mode. You can show satellite club if you have one or not, change the language, all those other things. It's been great. Now, is there one single thing on there that was tough to do? I promise you, we do the onboarding with your clubs on this. We will get 80% on there. That's our main goal, is to get these folks on there and using it. And they have a lot of fun doing it. Okay. But if you're a level 4 and you want to swipe to the left, we've started to add club administration duties. So if you want to add a service project, your secretary, your programs chair, you can jump right on there. Go ahead and do that and save it. It will send a push notification to everybody there. You can go ahead and add a calendar event right here as well. Add the event. As soon as you're done, you can send a push notification there as well. If you are in the district, have a district position at level 5 and above, you will be able to go ahead and swipe to the left. And I've gone ahead and started with the district administrative things as well. So it is a very nice and easy system to use. Now, questions?
There was a question about getting to your user manual, your user manuals as we evaluate DACdb. Can we get to the your online user manual and support system?
So most of our tutorials and documentation are actually within DACdb in our support and learning tab. However, I will mention
we can get to them through Steve's DACdb system.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, okay.
But also I want to make sure that you fully understand how we do the onboarding process. So it's very important for us to meet with every single club to make sure each club has a, because we're all unique. We all operate a little differently. So it's important to us to meet with every single club and to make sure we understand how you operate, what your needs are, what your successes are, where you want to be, and how this system you can use this system to its fullest potential. So
I think the question was asked more in terms of our 30-day window for evaluating and advising the district, or making our recommendation to the district on whether to transition or not.
Yeah.
So we need to have some pretty good evaluation tools.
Yeah. I mean, we have a video of the Ignite mobile app. We have a demo of a video that I can send you externally. We have a very short video of finance. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of external videos.
I know you don't have a sandbox we can play in.
No.
That's okay. We can get the user manuals and stuff like that, I know, off of Valle Verde's.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is Joe Pewitt. I was the one asking that question. And what I was looking for is a couple of paragraphs about each of the different modules. I don't necessarily need a lot of detail, but I would kind of like to know what the purpose of each module is and the capability of each module.
Some of that is documented on the DACdb, website, the website that they use for advertising the product. They do talk about each of the modules on there. But I think you want more details probably than they provide on that. That's advertising. You want
we'll get you some stuff, and we'll send it over to the district, and then they can go ahead and release. Some will be links to video, that short little 1-minute video that you can watch, or some will be some information on like one of the specific tabs. Can't do every single one of them because it's nasty. Steve, you had something to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify with Joe, when he says modules, each of those, are you talking about the overall modules or each of those tiles that we were looking at before?
Each of the tiles.
Okay. The training, the information for each of those tiles is in the built-in help sections. But as far as an individual paragraph that they could send you, I haven't seen one.
I think I already got it. Give me a couple days though, because it's pet season and we're traveling a lot. But give me a couple days to get some information to you, and I can probably put together, 2 sentences.
There are brief descriptions though of things like the finance module, the grants module, that are on the DACdb website. And they are also discussed in the support system to some degree. So.
As I mentioned to a couple of people, Valle Verde's been on DACdb now for we're starting our 3rd year, and if any of you guys have any questions, drop me a note or shoot me a phone call. I'll be happy to try to sort things out for you. We're very happy with it, especially with the finance module and the automatic invoicing credit card payment. It's amazing.
Game changer.
I almost got kicked out of my first board meeting about 4 years ago when I brought up taking payments on a card. And now those same folks are coming up to me going, "You're the auto pay guy, aren't you?" And I'm like, it's like, set me up. So we've come a long way. It just makes people's life easier. You're not saying you have to pay that way, but guess what? It just gives you an extra option for the people to do it. It also, by the way, there's a couple of the gateways that do offer ACH. So if somebody wants to just use their check instead of using a card, they can use that as well.
Yep.
And so it's a really neat deal there.
Those of you that asked about pricing, based on club size, I put a link in the chat to the little matrix I did for pricing based on club size, which I got from Patrick and Katie. So it should be accurate. It's also on the district website.
If you're a 20-person club, you can use the free version, which allows you to manage your members. You can do RI compare, integration, the whole 9 yards. You don't have to go up to RI, put your people there, and then sign into the district website and put your people there. Okay, we give you a free version at least. If you want, with Club Runner's minimum thing $252 is the bare minimum, and they give you a website and 3 other things for a 20-person club. All right, on the light version. On ours, you get almost every single thing, every tile that you saw on there, except for finance, website, and Ignite. Just it all depends on what your district does. You get all the other things, Pmail, you get file storage, you get all of those things included in it, and your cost would be $125 for the year. So your half, you get all this other stuff. If you were to add all that other stuff up on Club Runner and their a la carte, it'd be $444 versus $125. It's about a third of the price, guys. But I saw Leo's document, and you can just do your sliding scale. You'll see.
That doesn't show what the district is paying, but based on what the district is probably, if we go to it, what we would do, that's what the clubs would end up paying. So I thought that was the best. I can put the district one out there too if you want.
Again, we're less expensive. I was just up in All Ohio Pets, and there's a very big club up there. I have 300 and some odd members, and they're paying us $295 a year for whatever they want. And they moved to Club Runner. It was $1,400. I about fell out of my chair. So it just keep the cost down, make it nice and easy to use, and engage the other 80%, and you'll have a field day, guys. So what other questions do we have there, Leo?
That's the last one I think I saw. Most of them related to everything we've talked about, I think, you've talked about.
All right. Guys,
okay, I have one was in the box, but we skipped over it because you said you get to it later. Sure. Website and website design.
Oh yeah, the website. You're right.
Playing with the website in Club Runner is a pain in the And so how easy is it to do with this program?
Well, there's a couple of different things. One of the reasons why it's a little bit difficult in Club Runner is because it's not really a website, it's more web page.
It is. It's part of Club Runner.
It's ca.clubrunner.portal.whatever /name. This is your own website, as you can tell. And I'm going to tell you up front, Katie's boy does our websites. He's a young Rotarian, 22 years old, killing it as our public image person. But he absolutely loves to go on his website every day and make changes. He wanted the clovers on there for this. As soon as St. Patrick's Day's over, he's going to be bunny hopping it with little bunnies and baskets and eggs and the whole deal. What I asked him to do on our site with me and Katie, so if you go back up, I challenged him. I wanted to say, hey, when I go into my website, I want a video playing. And he was able to do it. I also chose, and Katie's followed it. As a matter of fact, she's like the guru at this. Scroll down just a little bit, Katie. She's went ahead and put our social media in the feed in the middle. So you don't have to go to a web person and then over here to social media. As long as if you can hook it up, we'll hook it up for you. It will immediately start posting your social media in the middle of your website. Katie, you can go live with it. Katie went live on Facebook and was live on the middle of our website. You can go and join us. Click the Join Us Now button. You click the Donate button and go straight there. So I love that it's as robust as you want to make it. It's very, let me put it this way. The first time you do anything, you're going to go, but you're not alone. We just don't give it to you and then say, here's some stuff. Our implementers sit down with you or whoever's doing your website and they teach you how to do it. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 things for you to finally feel comfortable doing it. But then you'll be a whiz. You see this? This is District 5010. They just came over to us and they went with an easy website, which is a lot less expensive than a WordPress website. And it wound up looking almost exactly like how their WordPress website was before. So it's a really neat system. Can you go to the front page, Katie? Homepage? And click on like to go to their district conference. Yeah, you can go down or you can go up, whichever one you want. just do district5010.org. This is the one we're building. There you go. Now, could you see the difference between those? That was a WordPress site that they were paying $1,400 a year for. This is a easy website that's there. But if you go down to the, you can go district conference up top or hit the button lower, Katie, whichever one you want. District conference information there. You can click on the hotel and it'll take you to the hotel registration. We put embedded video with the DG's invitation. You can go and look at the itinerary, whatever it is that you need to do on your district conference. It's legit. You can go ahead and book your airfare on there if you want to. Pretty cool.
So is website part of the free or?
No.
No, that is one of the modules, but one of the things that you do, like I said, a club at 20, it starts at, it's 125.
Yeah, I'm a club of 20.
Yep.
I'm a
so
club of
it'd be-
20.
it'd
So
be
that's
a-
why I'm asking, what exactly don't I get?
I
If
apologize.
you'll-
thought it
Yeah,
was
I know you went
finance.
through it, but
Linda, if you will click on that link that I put in the chat for
It will
club,
show you exactly.
it'll show you exactly the pricing.
Yep.
okay, but he went through it and he said, well, you can do 20 and under and it's free. And
Not the
then he said-
website.
Yeah.
That's
you
what
can do-
that's why I was asking whether it was included or not. And I think
No,
that was
but-
one of the things that wasn't, and finance is not included either, correct?
No.
Yep.
Okay. So then we would have to pay even though we're under 20.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
You do. I mean, if you want it, but I don't make people use my website. If they,
Oh,
'cause
I
there's a lot of
understand
people-
that.
And there's a lot of
understand
people
that.
who do Wix and stuff like this. So I have a free version that you can use for free. But if you want a website through us, your club size would be $125, ma'am. But I encourage you, if you can get it somewhere else for a better price or do whatever you
Oh,
need.
yeah, I understand that. So $125 for the website by itself, and then another, and then something else for everything else.
Yeah, for under 20, Linda, if you
Yep.
had everything, the database, the engagement, our district grants, which will, the district would pay for, the finance module, easy website, and the domain management, total would be $290 a year.
You
That's
pay
what-
more-
absolutely
pay twice
everything
that
you could
much
possibly do.
Yeah, you pay twice that much for just QuickBooks. So remember, it's not just the comparison between DACdb and Club Runner, but if you are using QuickBooks and can replace it as well, you can get rid of
And
that
your website.
$100 bill.
Some of our clubs are paying for websites now.
Oof. Yep. So, but the breakdown
Okay.
is where Leo sent it, so you guys can just take a look at the size of your club and go on from there. If you can run your club for free, please do so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope you can.
Some
But
clubs do.
if getting the $150 for your size club, man, for a finance module, if that saves you $400 on QuickBooks, if it saves you money and makes your life easier, then fantastic. If it doesn't, then don't.
Don't use it.
Yeah, our treasurer is an accountant and he already has QuickBooks, so that's not an
perfect.
issue.
Yep. So you don't even
Then
have
you
to worry
don't,
about
then
that.
you don't need the finance module, Linda.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking these questions, because
Yep.
we've got all
Just-
this stuff and going, okay, great, wonderful. And then, okay,
$129 a year for the website. So that would be all you'd need. You don't need the finance module.
Yep.
Right.
125. Sorry, it's 125.
Or 125, not 129. Yeah, 125.
so everything
Oh,
else we
and
need
plus
would be free.
plus
and
the
then the-
domain management.
Yeah.
Well, they can buy that themselves, or they can buy it through.
That's
us. You
true.
have to buy
That's
your
true.
www. Or if you already have one, you just transfer it over, man.
Yep.
And that's it. What other questions we got?
So can I ask a question about the credit card processing?
Ma'am?
Is there an option to have the person using the credit card pay the fee to use the card?
I'm glad you asked that. It's called
Yeah.
a platform fee, and yes, you can.
Okay.
You can either choose to use one, or you can use like in one of the gateways, Team Merchants, the one that I use. The owners are with Rotary One in Chicago. Best rates. They don't do this, batch fees and all these other things. It's just, it is what. Oh, you use the Discover card, it's more money. It's just the same. So they do a flat a flat rate for either non-platform fee or platform fee. So you can switch between the two. So if you say, hey, I don't want to charge my people on their dues the rate, you know what I mean? The club wants to do that. You can, when you set that up, you just set it up that way. But all these events that we do, we want to use the platform fee, and those people will be charged the platform fee, netting you the exact money that you charged in your thing. But that's the best part about it, is you get to decide.
And can you also give them the option, like if they're making a donation to our foundation, you might not want to charge them, but can you give them the option to pay it?
That's the one thing that they've taken away, ma'am. And we're
Okay.
really kind of on the cutting edge of where the stuff is going, where
Okay.
it used to be before, where you could have all three of those options. But people have started to go, well, I was coerced, the box was checked or the box wasn't checked. So it's
Okay.
either this or that. And that's
Okay.
what they've gone to.
Thank you. Good to know.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks, yes, ma'am. I'm ready. I'm here. I'm here for your questions. Anything else? I don't know, but Todd Brown there's got the cool name for a Rotary Club. Rio Rico Rotary. Triple R. I'm digging that. Love it. Anything else?
They're one of our very neutral clubs. They're not Club Runner or DACdb.
We love them. We'll help you. Not a problem.
They have the most to gain.
The next, I'll turn over to Leo in a moment, but our task force, I know, is going to continue to meet. I'm sure there'll be more questions coming your way, Patrick and Katie.
Yep.
We do look forward to seeing those videos that you'll send over to us.
We'll send you some links that some might be videos, some might be articles.
Yeah.
But we'll send what we have.
All right.
I don't know if I can give you an article on every single thing that's in every single tile. And there's.
No. We can get a lot of that from Steve, from the Green Valley, Valley Verde.
We'll hit on the top 10 there for you. And then if you need more, we'll get you more.
Yeah. Mainly the basic free module would be the biggest thing. And then the documentation on the finance module and the engagement module, things like that are already available.
Perfect.
Yeah. Whatever you've got.
We'll get it to you.
Let me get through tomorrow, okay?
Sure.
Yeah, tomorrow
we've got 30 days.
Okay.
It's a entrepreneurial camp for our high school students. Google partners with us. We take the kids out for 3 days, and it is the loudest place you'll ever be in your entire life. I mean, I have to walk in and then walk right back out for a minute or two. Katie's facilitating the entire thing, so she's gonna be all jacked up for the next 3 days. It's gonna be fun to watch. So, but listen, let me give you a number, okay, guys? If you have a pen, take down this number. It's 803 999 6671. I'll repeat it one more time. It's 803 999 6671. Now
I put it in the chat, so.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Leo, my man. Appreciate it. Tech guy, and just thought I'd read it out. Sorry. But listen, that's myself. If you have a question, I'm usually on these calls, so it takes me, if I miss your call, I'll call you back. But best way to get me, guys, if you got a question, oh man, I was just talking with my president and he wanted to know this. Hit me with a text and I can answer you right back. Okay? And we'll go from there. Or if you want to, if you're talking with your club and they go, hey, we want to see it, we'll do a demo for you, you and your board, with no problem at all. That's it.
All right. With that, again, Patrick and Katie, thank you.
Thank
the rest
you.
you might not know, they've been on from.
DG, Don,
to make this happen. So I'll ask our district members to stay on for the moment in case there are any questions, or Leo, in case you have anything you want to cover before we sign off.
All right. Thanks, Patrick.
Right, bye. Thanks.
You take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, as Don mentioned, we do have a committee, a task force that Don has formed. And he's decided to grace me with the chair of the committee this time. But we have a 30-day window to try to get the recommendation done. So we're looking at mid-April to try to have the actual recommendation from the group, to the district leadership. I've got 19 members, and most of you are on it, but not everybody. If you are interested in being on it, just send me an email and I'll send you everything. Right now, it's looking like the meeting is going to be kind of a problem. I wanted to try to have it this week. Unfortunately, Dawn is not available Thursday or Friday, Friday was the best time for everybody else, but not for Dawn. And I think it's important to have him on.
I would suggest go ahead.
No, okay. Well, there were 11 people available at 5 o'clock on Friday, but you weren't one of those 11. So that was the biggest yes vote that I've gotten so far. I've got 4 no responses yet from the 19 that I've got. Of the 15 I do have, 11 of them could make that time. 10 could also make Thursday at 3 o'clock. In fact, 10 could also meet earlier on Friday. Fridays is definitely the best day for most people, it looks like. So unless, if you don't really mind, Don, then we'll try to carry on without you. It looked like, I think Sue was able to make it. I don't know about Bruce yet, he hasn't responded. But, Emma can't make it. So of the 4 DG line, looks like at least one can make it. Bruce probably can, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and we have Anita too. I don't know if Anita,
Oh, Anita hasn't responded either. I don't have hers in here yet.
I can be there Friday.
Good. So that means we have some leadership. We have some adult supervision. Not just us kids. All right. Well, then I guess I'll go ahead and send something out, including a very, very basic agenda for 5 o'clock on Friday. But those of you that are on the task force can count on that. And if you've got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them now, or you can send them to me by email, whatever you want. I don't have any really other information other than this is a quick evaluation, but Joe, you're absolutely right. We've got to get technical information and see how things work. I know because I was on Club Runner for 5 years when I first joined Rotary. Then I was on DACdb because my district, without my participation, at least the decision making, decided to go to DACdb. They forced all 72 members to go. There was no discussion. It was you will go to DACdb. And it was not a pleasant process. I did get tasked with helping significantly with that because I was kind of the tech person in the district. But there were a couple of us that worked with all the clubs transitioning over. And it was not fun because part of the problem was overcoming that and that first pain of saying, you will do this. It wasn't a matter of, do you want to do this? Do you think it's a good idea? It was just, you will do it. We aren't going to do that. I guarantee you. Dawn has already said that for sure too. That's why we're having this evaluation, is to determine. And I'm not sold 100% either. I know I've seen both. I definitely like DACdb a whole heck of a lot better, but that's just me. And that's also more from a district perspective than it is from a club. I can use Club Runner at the club level without a whole lot of problem, but I don't think the interface with districts is good. And I know that the district level support from DACdb is one heck of a lot better. Registration for conferences and district events is so much cleaner and simpler and better for the people that are registering and the people that have to set up the registration. So there are a lot of good advantages from the district. From the club, I think the big advantage is the cost. There won't be any cost if you don't need the finance module, except for if you want a website, you'll still have to pay for a website, but that's $125 a year. You're paying more than that for Club Runner if you're using Club Runner as a very small club. So I just think that's an easy thing. But if you don't want to go to DACdb, if the district does decide to go, you don't have to. We can still get your data because both DACdb and Club Runner both interface with Rotary International. So, it's easy enough for you to still synchronize from Club Runner just like you do now, Club Runner up to RI. We can get it at the district. If the district goes to DACdb, we can still get your data down into DACdb from Rotary International. You can also, of course, interface with us directly if you want, but I'm just saying there's no absolutely mandate that you must go to DACdb if the district moves. So that makes it an option that I think makes it a little more palatable for clubs. But honestly, from a club standpoint, I think it's a no-brainer. And I don't care what size club you are. Even if you're the Tucson club, which is the largest club we have, I still think it's an advantage to them. I worked with I've worked with the Atlanta club in Georgia, and they had more members than the Tucson club. And they still like DACdb a whole heck of a lot better than Club Runner. And it was actually less expensive for them on an annual basis. So anyway, I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just telling you, my perspectives, take them, and that's where I'm coming from. I've used both. I've used Club Runner now since I've been in this district since 2020. Well, I was here in 2021, but I didn't actually join until 2022. So I haven't been around a long time, but I've been doing a lot of stuff at the district level. So I think I understand, and I still want to go back. And I've really, I've sort of forgotten a lot of DACdb stuff. I've had to dredge it back up for this process, but really I'm comfortable with Club Runner too now. So I share the pain of every club and every member and every club leader that's going to have to transition if they do want to transition. There's always pain involved in change, any kind of change. This is no exception. But I guarantee you it will be a lot less painful than it was for the 72 clubs in District 6910, because there were 3 of us that had to move them. We didn't have a lot of DACdb support. They didn't have a transition team at that time. So I think this will be a lot simpler if we go. But I'm not trying to force that issue, and I don't want to. I want us to all go in with open minds and open hearts. And hopefully Friday at 5 o'clock, we'll be able to discuss it more length. I will try to get something of an agenda out, but any questions, comments?
Well, I was just going to say that what struck me as a gold mine that I liked about the DACdb, and I don't know, maybe you can do it in Club Runner, but that whole tracking mechanism regarding the people that your club comes in contact with, whatever their classification might be. They may be a friend, the volunteer, the school district, whatever.
We can do some of that in Club Runner, Anita, but it's not as robust. And for one thing, I mentioned it earlier because I knew they wouldn't think of it, and that is that you can start getting the leads from Rotary International. Because I know in 6910, we used to get about 40 leads a month for the district as a whole. Now, not per club, but for the district. And we would, they would be earmarked for individual clubs, but that would go directly into their DACdb database as potential members. They didn't have to put them in. They came right from Rotary International because RI collects that information, name, address, all that, email, phone number, and any kind of background, like if their interest, what their interests are, things like that. So there's a basic modicum of information that comes from RI directly. Of course, we get a lot of our leads here locally. The clubs get them, individual members get them. Yes, you put those in just like you do with Club Runner. And Club Runner does do some tracking, but not nearly as robust as DACdb.
I mean, the contacts, the phone numbers, who talked to them last, took them to lunch or whatever the case might be. I mean, I thought being able to follow up with people.
Yeah, we used to keep a running log of every contact anybody had with a potential member. And you just put the little note in there, and then everybody that's involved in that process can see it, so they know who's talked to that potential member and about what. So yeah, it's very, very nice for potential membership.
Thank you for your leadership in this, Leo. You're doing a great job
Oh,
with it.
Don's the leader. I'm just trying to keep the cats corralled. That's all.
Well, you're taking it away. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Don is a leader because he knows who to pick.
That's right. Get the best people and get out of the way. So that's what we're doing. So with
Anyway,
that, I
so-
appreciate everyone's
me too.
95 minutes. This
Yeah, it was a
evening of
little
your
longer
time.
than I expected.
Well, I thought it might go ways. I know there was a lot to go through and a lot of great questions from everyone before.
Yeah.
So really appreciate it. I appreciate those of you that are task force members and anyone else who wants to are welcome. And we'll keep rolling.
And if you've got people in mind that you think should be on the task force, please send them our way. Before Friday, hopefully.
All right. With that,
anything else?
Have a good evening. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.